Hello there, welcome to another special edition of African Football Archives, and today we are looking at Senegal's greatest footballers of all time. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Senegal made its first FIFA World Cup appearance in 2002 and caused a huge upset by defeating world and European champions France 1-0 in the tournament's opening game. Senegal eventually reached the quarterfinals of the 2002 World Cup. In 2018, Senegal qualified for their second World Cup finals. Established in the early 1960s, the team have been regular competitors in the African Cup of Nations, where their best performances were runner-up to Cameroon in the 2002 edition in Mali and to Algeria in 2019 edition in Egypt. In 2021, they finally won the African Cup of Nations by beating Egypt in the final. Nicknamed the Lions of Teranga, the team became only the second African team to reach the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup after Cameroon in 1990, doing so in 2002 before losing to Turkey in extra time. They are the current champions of Africa, having won the most recent African Cup of Nations final in 2021. Having said that, let's get straight into Senegal's greatest footballers of all time. Tony Silva was a member of AS Monaco from 1993 to 2004, mainly as a backup to Fabien Barthez and Flavio Roma in the main squad or out on loan. In 2004, he joined Lille, where he became a starter and played for them between 2004 and 2008. He also spent 2 seasons playing for Trabzonspor in Turkey. He was capped 83 times by Senegal. He was the starter at the 2002 World Cup finals and 4 African Cup of Nations tournaments in 2002, 2004, 2006 and 2008. Cheikh Seck was a goalkeeper for Senegal during the 1980s and the 1990s. He took part in 4 African Cup of Nations finals in 1986, 1990, 1992 and 1994. For club football, he played for Jarraf in Dakar before joining Esperance de Tunis in 1981 and started at Tunisian in 1989. He was voted by CAF as one of the 200 greatest African footballers of all time in 2006. Born in France, Edouard Mendy has played for Senegal since 2018. He started his career at AS Chebu. Later, he played for Remy and started at Rennes. In 2020, he joined Chelsea. In his first season, he helped Chelsea to win the UEFA Champions League. He was the first African goalkeeper to start in the European Cup final since Bruce Grobler in 1985. He won the UEFA Champions League Goalkeeper of the Season in the 2020-21 season and the Best FIFA Men's Goalkeeper in 2021. He also won the Golden Glove at the 2021 African Cup of Nations as Senegal won the cup for the first time. He has 25 caps for Senegal. Born in France, Habib Beye started his career at Paris Saint-Germain in 1997. The peak of his career was spent with RC Strasbourg, Olympique Marseille and Newcastle United. He was captain of Olympique Marseille for 2 years prior to his move to Newcastle United in 2007. He was Newcastle's Player of the Year in 2008. He also played for Aston Villa. He was capped 35 times and scored 1 goal for Senegal. He went to the World Cup finals in 2002 but was mainly used as a substitute. He was in the Senegal squads for the 2002, 2004, 2006 and 2008 African Cup of Nations finals. Born in Senegal, Ferdinand Coly grew up in France. He started his career at Liban, then moved to Poitiers and then Châteauroux. After having an impressive performance at the World Cup finals in 2002, he moved from RC Lens to the English Premiership but failed to impress with Birmingham City. Coly then moved on to Perugia in 2003. In the summer of 2005, he made a move to Serie A side Parma, where he was a regular player. He also played at the 2002, 2004 and 2006 African Cup of Nations finals. He was capped 44 times by Senegal. Born in France of Senegalese parents, Kalidou Koulibaly represented France at youth level, but he switched to play for Senegal in 2015. He went to the World Cup finals in 2018. He started his career with Metz in France. He later played for Genk in Belgium. In 2014, he moved to Napoli, where he became a star player. He then moved to Chelsea at the beginning of the 2022-2023 season. Since 2015, he has been capped by Senegal 64 times. He was part of the Senegal'S team that won the African Cup of Nations in 2021. Yérim Diagne was born in Senegal. He played for Senegal between 1963 and 1973. He went to the African Cup of Nations of 1965 and 1968. He helped Senegal to finish 4th in 1965. His club career was spent at Réveillé de Saint-Louis and Braque de Saint-Louis in Senegal. Domingo Mendy was the captain of his club team, Jeanne d'Arc. He was also the captain of the Senegalese national team of the early 1960s under the leadership of Raoul Diagne. The player was a dignified and rigorous footballer with extraordinary discipline for a defender. Information about his career is very limited. Papa Bouba Diop started his career at home in Senegal with ASC Giraffe before making his way to Switzerland. In 2002, he moved to France, where he played for Lens. 2 years later, he moved to England, first playing for Fulham and then Portsmouth. He also played in Greece for AEK Athens before heading back to England to play for West Ham and then Birmingham City. He was capped 63 times and scored 11 goals for Senegal. He was known for scoring the goal that upset France at the World Cup finals in 2002. He ended up as Senegal's top scorer at the tournament with 2 goals. He also played at the 2002, 2004, 2006 and 2008 African Cup of Nations finals. Roger Mendy spent 3 years playing for AS Monaco, whom he reached the 1992 UEFA Cup Winners' Cup final. He also had spells with Sporting Toulon and AS Jeanne d'Arc before finishing his career in Italy with Pescara Calcio. He earned 87 caps and scored 3 goals between 1979 and 1995 for Senegal. He also participated at the African Cup of Nations in 1986 and 1992. Ibrahima Ba Eusebio started his career in Dakar playing for Giraffe. He then went to play in Europe for Le Havre in France. He played for them between 1977 and 1982 and helped the club to win promotion from Ligue 2 to Ligue 1. He then played for SC Abbeville after Le Havre. He also captained the Senegalese national team. Aliou Cissé had 35 caps for Senegal. He captained the Senegal national team that reached the quarterfinals of the 2002 World Cup in Korea and Japan. He was also part of the Senegal team who were runners-up to Cameroon in the 2002 African Cup of Nations. He started his career in France with Lille and then played for Paris Saint-Germain and Montpellier. After the 2002 World Cup, he moved to England and played for Birmingham City and Portsmouth. He later played for Sedam and Nîmes in France. In his career, Omar Sene played as an attacking midfielder, striker and defensive midfielder. He started his career with US Gorée at home before going to play in France. He first joined Stade Lavallois before going to Paris Saint-Germain in 1985 and was named captain of the club in 1987. He retired from the club in 1992. He was kept by Senegal between 1982 and 1992. Loris Gomis was born in 1945 in Senegal. He played in France in the 1970s with SC Amiens, FC Bruges and Tonon Sports Club in the lower divisions. Internationally, he helped Senegal to qualify for the African Cup of Nations in 1968, beating Guinea, a powerful team at the time. Christophe Sagna started his career with Jeanne d'Arc in 1974. He moved to France in 1976. He played 106 games for Stade Laval, scoring 12 goals. He then played for En Avant de Guingamp between 1982 and 1985. He then joined Stade Quimpérois. For international football, he had over 30 caps for Senegal. He went to the 1986 African Cup of Nations. Born in Dakar, Senegal in 1943, Yatma Diop is one of the first Senegalese players to play in Europe. He started his career at home with Foyer France in Senegal. In 1963, he moved to play in France, where he played for Football Club d'Annecy and Amiens in the 1960s. He also played for Giraffe at home. He helped Senegal to qualify for the 1968 African Cup of Nations by beating Guinea in the qualifying round, a powerful team at that time. Khalilou Fadiga began his career at Paris Saint-Germain in France but failed to make an impression. He played for Red Star 93, FC Liège and Club Brugge. After impressing with Auxerre, he moved to Inter Milan but never played a game. He later played for Bolton Wanderers, Derby, Coventry, Gent and others. He was capped 37 times and scored 4 goals for Senegal. He played in the 2002 World Cup finals and also played at the 2000 and 2002 African Cup of Nations finals. Sadio Mane started his career with Metz. He made his name while playing for Red Bull Salzburg and then Southampton. In 2016, he became the most expensive African player in history at that time when he joined Liverpool for a fee of £34 million. Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, Roberto Firmino and Philippe Coutinho made up a prolific attacking quartet at Liverpool dubbed the Fab Four. He helped the club to reach the final of the 2018 UEFA Champions League. He also scored a goal in the final. Mane was decisive at Liverpool as they won the UEFA Champions League in 2019, the Premier League in the 2019-20 season, the UEFA Super Cup in 2019, the FIFA Club World Cup in 2019, the FA Cup and the League Cup in the 2021-22 season. He also won the English Premiership Golden Boot in 2018-19 season. For Senegal, he played for them at the World Cup finals in 2018. He was the African Cup of Nations player of the tournament as Senegal won the tournament in 2022. He has 93 caps and 34 goals for Senegal, making him Senegal's all-time leading goal scorer. El Hadji Diop played for Sochaux, Rennes and Lens in France before moving to Liverpool prior to the 2002 FIFA World Cup for Senegal. He also played for Bolton Wanderers, Sunderland and Blackburn Rovers before a stint in the Scottish Premier League with Rangers. He also played for Doncaster Rovers and Leeds United. He earned 70 caps and scored 24 goals for Senegal. He was a star at the World Cup finals in 2002 where he made the team of the tournament. He was the African Player of the Year in 2001 and 2002. He also played at the 2002, 2004, 2006 and 2008 African Cup of Nations finals. Salif Diao started his career at Monaco and then played for Sedan. He was then signed by Gérard Houllier for Liverpool just before the 2002 World Cup. He then had brief stints with Birmingham City and Portsmouth before signing for Stoke City, where he played for over 80 matches before retiring. He played for Senegal at the 2002 World Cup, scoring 1 goal. He also played at the 2002 and the 2004 African Cup of Nations. He was capped 39 times and scored 4 goals for Senegal. Born in 1944, Mata Niang was an early star of the Senegalese national team. He went to the African Cup of Nations in 1965, scoring 2 goals against Ethiopia. Senegal finished 4th in the tournament. He missed the 1968 edition. He started his career at Hopes of Dakar and then moved to Giraffe. He then went to France to play in the French 2nd Division between 1969 and 1974 for La Coita, Échoize, Amiens, Combray and Cholet. Henri Camara played for various clubs around Europe. His most successful years were spent in England and Greece. His longest stint was spent with Panathinaikos in Greece, where he played between 2011 and 2014. He was also Wolverhampton Wanderers Player of the Year in 2005. He earned 99 caps and scored 29 goals for Senegal. He was part of the World Cup team in 2002, scoring 2 goals against Sweden in the round of 16. He was also part of the 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006 and 2008 Senegalese squads of the African Cup of Nations. Sa Boubacar played in France during the 1970s and the 1980s for SC Toulon, Marseille, Caen, Paris Saint-Germain and FC Martigues. At the end of his career, he played in the United States for New Jersey City. He was an important member of both Marseille and Paris Saint-Germain. He had 2 stints with Marseille while playing for PSG. Between them, he went to the 1986 and the 1994 African Cup of Nations. Jules Bocandé started his career with Casa Sport in Senegal. After getting a tough suspension at home, he moved to Europe. He played for Tournai in Belgium's 3rd division and Serraing in Belgium's 1st division before going to France. He played for Metz, Paris Saint-Germain, OGC Nice and RC Lens. In the 1985-86 season, he finished as top scorer in the French Ligue 1 with 23 goals. Jules Bocandé was capped 73 times and scored 20 goals for Senegal. He was a key player in qualifying his country for the 1986 African Cup of Nations in Egypt. He also played at the 1990 and the 1992 African Cup of Nations finals. Mamadou Niang played for 8 clubs during his career, with the most prominent of which being the Ligue 1 side Olympique Marseille, where he stayed for 5 seasons. He also played for Troyes, Strasbourg, Fenerbahce, Al Sadd, Besiktas and Ale Avignon. Mamadou Niang played for the Senegalese national team between 2002 and 2012, taking part in 5 editions of the African Cup of Nations, namely the 2002, 2004, 2006, 2008 and the 2012 edition. He was capped 59 times and scored 20 goals for Senegal. That's all for the list of Senegal's greatest footballers of all time. But before we finish, here are some honorable mentions. Idrissa Gueye, Baba Touré, Diamansi Kamara, Omar Daf, Moussa Ndiaye, Louis Camara, Moussa Ndao, Moussa Sow, Cheku Kouyaté, Mbaye Fall, Lamine Diatta, Saliou Ciss, Souleymane Sané, Mamadou Diallo, Moussa Konaté, Abdoulaye Faye, Adolphe Mendy, Papis Cissé, Mame Biram Diouf, Dem Ndoye. This has been Senegal's greatest footballers of all time. If there are any great players that you think we should have included on the list, please feel free to let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video. That should be all for now. See you next time.